Hi guys, recap of competition prep week 11. What the hell? We are nearly 12 weeks down. 12 weeks down already, nearly? Oh my god. So, last week we had lots of shit happen in terms of my body started doing what it's told. So, I entered last week, just let me refer to my stats. Entered last week at 61.6. I think the 8th would have been Monday. I think it was. Yep. So as of last Monday, I was sitting at 61.6. So that was a drop that I had because I had otherwise been sitting around 62 or 60, the high 61. So Monday we had a bit of a drop, which was great. I was like, woohoo. And then by midweek last week, I think it was around Wednesday or Thursday, I had like a 500 gram drop. So I was sitting at 61 on the dot. And I was like, okay, this is really good. And then the following day, I had another 500 gram drop. So I was like a kilo down in 2 days. It was absolutely wild. So we actually cracked the 60s, 60.6 and then 60.5 last week. The last 2 days, I have had a bit of a fluctuation. So we're back up to 61 because that's just part of life. But I have no doubt that will come down. I think that was just my meals over the weekend. Like when I eat the meals the way I eat in prep, things go well. And when I eat like at the correct times, I see those drops. Like last week, for example, when I saw those drops, I was having my 3 litres plus of water. I was having breakfast, a pre-workout, lunch, a meal at like 3 or 4 p.m, dinner, and then my Ninja Creamy. So that's 6 different times a day. Whereas over the weekend, which has been the last 2 days, where I have sort of I've crept back up to 61, so a 500 gram increase. I've only been having, what did I have? I think I did have, on one of the days both of them. I had my pre-workout, I had breakfast, then I had like lunch or / like the afternoon meal, dinner and the cream. So I only had 4 or 5 meals, but they were obviously bigger to make up the calories and probably not as much water as I would have liked. So that's what happens, and like that's just, on me, but it's a different routine over the weekend a little bit. So that is what it is. It'll come back down, I know it, but that's what we did see last week was the drop, like over a kilo down. Because at the start of last week, like I said, it was at 61.5. We're at least 500 grams down as of today, but we have been over a kilo down the last week, which is good. Like I'm actually starting to feel a lot leaner, and this physique, 60 to 61, I've said since day dot, this is where I want to be. Like this is, it's still very much in a healthy weight range, but this is like where I'm most confident for my height and weight that's actually sustainable as well post-prep. Now, this is what I said last prep as well, that, I'd love to be able to maintain 60, which I did, like 60, 61, I did for a little bit of time, but as the last prep one, I was like, I could maintain 58. I can maintain 55. I can't. I cannot. Not for the amount of muscle I have, not for my body. 60, 61 is where I feel really good. And that is like my goal post this show to stay at. Now, obviously, in bodybuilding, I had to be in a surplus and build, and I ended up getting up to like 67.9. Was not fun. So it was essentially like 6 kilos beyond where I want to be. So that is not something I'm willing to do again. I don't know if I will compete after this season. I say that now. But I really do want to look at, a different style of training next year, and also being in a body that I'm happy all year round in. Bodybuilding, it's a lot of delayed gratification, and, being in physiques that you aren't necessarily comfortable in for a big chunk of time, because building is majority of the time. Yes, I'm about to get lean and look fucking great for a couple of months, but that's also not somewhere I can live either. So anyway, that was a whole friggin' side rant, but that is where we're at with this prep. So the 3 sessions of cardio last week, and all my steps and training and everything, I find the cogs are starting to move. And that was Rob's sort of idea, is that he wanted to get me as close to 60 or sub 60 in the next few weeks. And then I know in the next couple of weeks, when we sort of reach that point, he's planning a bit of a like not like halfway, because we won't quite be halfway, but a bit of a checkpoint. Like this was our first checkpoint we had to get to, which was 60. And then he's going to implement a bit of a refeed for a couple of days, which honestly I don't feel like I need, but I know the impact it had on me last time and how beneficial it is for the body. It just sort of gives you like a second wind to keep going. So that is what I know will be coming in the future. But in terms of day-to-day last week, what did we do? It was fucking shit weather here. Like, it looks sunny now, right? But last week, Brisbane, it has just been so hot and cold. Like, I've been in jumpers, which is unheard of as a Tasmanian in a jumper in Queensland. And it was just raining, like, so many days. So I actually didn't even see my friends last week for a walk. I did see them on Friday, but I didn't go for walks in the morning. Majority of my, like, routine is if I'm not going to the gym first thing, I'm in this office on my step pad as soon as I pretty well wake up. And I get my 15,000 steps done in the morning, because then I can sit at my desk and work and just do that for the rest of the day. And I typically, if I do that in the morning, I'll then go and train at like on my lunch break at lunchtime. So like 12 o'clock-ish. So that, unless I've got posing, then I'll go early morning. But that is typically that routine, because I haven't been able to go outside and walk, which sucks. But you know, like my steps were done by 9:30 today, and that I even broke them up a little bit because I had breakfast and whatever. So that is chill. Cardio has been fine, predominantly after my 2 upper sessions and my last lower session, which is a bit lighter on. I always do that on a Saturday. I move it around. I think it's meant to be on Friday, but I swap the upper and lowers around. But yeah, so they've been fine. Actually, I don't want to say I go psycho. I really like the Stairmaster. Like, I do, like 20 minutes is not bad on that. I still to this day think about the girls that I prepped with last time that were doing like 90 minutes on it. And if that's me at the end, that's going to be grim. But 20 minutes is very doable. Very, you know, I do not mind it at all. Whereas I've already forgot the name of it. I put a story up about it yesterday. The recumbent. No, I feel like that's not it. The bike where you sit back and you do the pedaling like this. Anyway, that. Oh dear, I never use that wording. Anyway, that bike is in Ismar, the day of cardio, and I did it yesterday. I don't like it at all. One of my glutes was on absolute fire, and the other one was just like chilled. So I don't know if I've got an imbalance in that or what's going on with that, but that was not fun. But you do what you're told, because that's what's been programmed. But yeah, so those 3 sessions were chill. Mobility, I did 2 sessions last week, which is an improvement. I did the live session with Caitlin, like with the Mobility Collective on the like FaceTime on Wednesday night. I hate them so much. Like, they're so good at the time and I feel really good after it, but they hurt so much. Like an hour of just putting your body again into positions that it needs but hurts. So that was like a progression last week, which was great. Posing has been pretty good too. I will have a session this coming week with Tay again. And yeah, last week I had my I only had massage last week. So typically I was seeing a chiro. I do see a chiro normally fortnightly. I think I pushed this one out to a month because things have been okay. But I had been having heaps of neck and back issues that have resolved for now. But I'm still actively working with my massage therapist on a fortnightly basis, because by the time 2 weeks go around, because I'm training so much and, you know, the posing and like all the pressure I'm putting on my body, especially in my shoulders, my upper back, they just is so tight. So I need that at least fortnightly for now. So I had that last week as well. So it's a lot of, you know, when I break it down, you know, there is a lot of time and effort goes into this. Like, and I sort of put a post up about it last week about what prep looks like. It's like, yeah, the 5 training sessions is one part of it, and then there's the meal planning element, and then there's the groceries to make sure you've got all the things for your meals. Then there's spending the time to track your food out so it all balances, you know, within 2 grams or whatever. And then there's the posing, like per day, and then there's the mobility, and then there's the steps, the time spent on the step pad, which I double that off with work anyway. And then now there's cardio. It's just like, it is such a time-consuming sport, which anything, I'm sure anything at a high level sort of is, but it does chew up a lot of time. And if you were half in, I just couldn't imagine, because, I love it. It's like, yes, there's a lot on my plate, but it feels good when it's all done. And we make it work. But yeah, otherwise, I can't remember what I've said and what I haven't said. Last week, can you tell I'm like, got so many thought processes going on? Maybe in this prep I'll get assessed for ADHD. I probably won't. I got a referral once, but never made it to the doctors because the referral's in my car somewhere. Ah, dear. We live and we love. Anyway. Oh my goodness. Is that still going? It is. Sorry about that, Queen. Yeah, what else is there to say? Last week, outside of the rants I've already had today, been, obviously busy doing work stuff, having all my back-end systems with my business built out for me because I am hopeless and unorganised. So that's going to be so much more streamlined now. Thank you, Tay. And yeah, through the week I was pretty much a loner because I would just work from home. Don't mind this, lol. What else did I do? Went to the gym, obviously. Friday night. So I did go out for dinner, slay. I went and met up with the girls on Friday night because we planned this catch up ages ago. And I initially wasn't, and I put this on Instagram as well, but who knows, you might not be from my Instagram. I had intended to go to this dinner at Fat Cow in Brisbane, and not eat and come home and eat my dinner, which I was so chill with. But then I got there and I was like, I wonder if I could make this work. I was like, can I balance this out? Because I hadn't had dinner when I got there. I was like, I've still got, 500-600 calories left. Like, can I make this work? So I ended up getting an eye-fillet steak and cooked in absolutely nothing. I was like, do you cook it in oil or butter or something? She's like, yeah, normally butter. I was like, I can't have it. I'm literally allergic. She's like, allergic to what? And I was like, fat and oil. So yeah, so that came out. I ended up getting an eye-fillet steak and some broccolini that was, I don't know how they cooked it, but it was very dry as well. In hindsight, it was cool to still be a part of it, but I probably, I don't know, I'd do it again, especially once I'm at the point where I'm 12 weeks out or something. I probably wouldn't do that. But, we made it work. It fit the macros and I still, had a drop the next day. So it actually worked out not too bad at all. But it was more of I wanted to go and still turn up because last prep, I still went to things, but I was definitely more isolated, and especially since I'd been home all week by myself because of the weather and crap. I was like, I'm going to this dinner, whether I eat or not, and it just happened that I made it work, had my Pepsi Max and my plain steak and my broccolini, and made it all work, and then come home, and it was all good and well. But that was Friday night, and then Saturday I went down to Harbour Town with Georgia, my old roommate, bless her. And she was who I lived with when I did my last prep, bless. So we went down there, had a little bit of a shop, and then I came back and literally just, I think, tinkered around and did some work when I got back. I'm just boring. I would have got on my step pad for a bit and then pretty well made my homemade pizza for dinner and then watched SVU and then went to bed. I'm such an old person. But that's what I love. I love nothing more than getting in my pyjamas at 5 p.m. on a Saturday night and then just knowing I don't have to go anywhere, which is alienating to me to think because 5 years ago that would be my worst nightmare. But we live and change. And then the very exciting thing that happened only yesterday was I have seen the first sort of design of my bikini. So I don't want to say her name wrong. I feel like it's Stefanka, but there's no F or there's no PH. Stepanka? I don't know how to say it. Stepanka. Anyway, go and look her up on Instagram. Her bikinis are incredible. She's designing one of my bikinis before me. I'm looking at the drafts on my computer behind the camera. they are stunning. So I went back and forth with her yesterday with some little things that I want to change. Obviously, my bikini last time was orange and purple. We loved her. I want you to guess, what colour do you think I'm doing this time? What colour do you think I'd look good in, and what colour do you think I will do? Now, that's one bikini. I'm getting one made at this time. I'm still like, I have got nothing organised otherwise for the shows. I haven't booked hair. I haven't booked flights to anywhere. I haven't booked accommodation or anything. I'm just so like unorganized this time around. Last time I was like booking photo shoots 6 months out. I'm just like so blasé with it this time. I'm just focusing on doing the things right now. But I've organised that one bikini. I still need to organise one, potentially another two. So I probably need to look at doing that. I'm thinking I might even hire or like buy one second hand. The only risk you run with that is that they don't fit perfectly. But they are like $2,200-$2,400 each, just to be so transparent. So to buy 3 of them, that is fucking insane. That is a lot of money. So I don't know. I would prefer to either rent or borrow the other 1 or 2, depending on if I do Thailand. I'm thinking, like, I know I'd sort of thrown Thailand around there a bit. I'm thinking I want to do Thailand because I feel like that's a good way to finish it off. Because Worlds is 1 week, then it's Thailand, and then the week after that is my client retreat in Brisbane. So, like, just might as well finish like October out in a bang. So that's not confirmed. And like, as far as I had planned to do New Zealand, I'd probably need to organise a bikini and flights and accommodation. I don't know. Chaos. Anyway, that's exciting. Like, there's draft 1 of the bikini so far, which is exciting, but I need to get a wriggle on and organise the other ones because I think Thailand and Worlds are like 17 and 18 weeks. They could even be less now. And I've not organised anything. I hate myself. I don't know. I've just got this on. Just a girl. Anyway, I think that's enough yapping crap for now. Have a great week. We are officially in week 12 now. So this is week 12 of prep, 3 months down. I'm foreseeing that by the end of this week, hopefully, I will have reached 60 on the dot. We'll see. We will see. But other than that, love you so much. Talk to you soon. Please subscribe. Okay, catch you, Queenie.